So good morning, everyone. This is JoJo Bennington. It is so lovely to see the faces that I can see this morning. So I see Carter's smiling face, and Dolores is always there with her big smile on. And it's good to see you all. Hope that everything is going well and everyone around you is safe and healthy. And everybody give me a thumbs up. Yes, we're all out there. We're awake. It's Saturday morning.
Yes.
It's 8 o'clock in the morning for me. Don't know what time it is for
Morning,
you
everyone.
guys. I know we have people that pop in from all over the world. So we never know to what time it could be for them. But, thank you for being here. For those of you who don't know me, I have been with Isagenix for 14 and a half years. Been working with this company ever since Mr. Dave MacArthur walked up to me and asked me if I had ever cleansed, and I sent him away with a no. Go away, I don't want to talk to you. Luckily, I had the opportunity to say yes a second time, and it has changed our life forever. So 14 and a half years I've been here doing this, certified in wellness and nutrition, and love to share this information because most people have never heard of this before. And so we'll be talking a little bit of cell biology this Saturday morning, and we'll keep it easy and simple. I have to, because I am not the big brain in biology, that's for sure, but I understand the information well, have been able to work with the molecular biologist who created all of this amazing stuff that we're going to teach you today, and hopefully you learn something. If you guys will watch the chat, I have, there's a bunch of people on here that are able to ask questions. So there's a couple things you can do if you've never been on Zoom before. There's a little button in the top right of your screen that if you click, you can either see gallery view or speaker view. So whoever's speaking is big on your screen, or you can see everyone's face. There's a chat button down at the bottom. You can click on chat, type in the chat. You can either write to one person or you can write to the whole group. So if you have a question, you want to make a comment, we love to hear testimonials. Keep them compliant, please. And we will, there's people here that can answer questions, and if not, then we will go back and address them. So let's get rolling this morning. So I will share my screen with you, and hopefully technology is on my side today. Let's see. So far, everything's working. I got one of those new Wi-Fi splitter like things that's supposed to like help keep your live or your internet from cycling in and out. Yeah, it doesn't work. Don't buy one. It still messes up all the time.
Yes.
Let's see. Okay. Don't know if that worked. I don't think it did. Oh, maybe it did. Oh, yay. It just took a minute. See, I'm frozen already. All right. If I freeze, somebody like stop me from just running my mouth through the whole time. Because, all right. You guys can see my screen? Yes? Good? Wow. It's doing crazy things this morning. Okay. All right. Okay, I can see my screen. I can see you guys. I think we are good to go. So thank you guys for being here, putting up with my technology issues. And it's been interesting, and know that I have not updated my slideshow. This was kind of a last minute, please hop in and do this morning. So my slideshow is not updated, but we've had some interesting things happen in Isagenix over the past couple of weeks. We've updated our branding. We're now calling it Isagenix 2.0, where sometimes you'll see the little ISA guy that stands there like this. We now have a lovely, beautiful flower of life logo that just is really, the flower of life is the basis of all life, and that's what Isagenix is. We're a balanced life, and isogenesis is the basis of all life, and so that's what we're going to talk about today a little bit. So. Tons of products that we could talk about, but we're going to talk about two main products today, and we'll actually talk about the new updated version of what's in this canister. But the majority of time we're going to talk about isogenesis. So we were just talking about the basis of life, and really That is what this is. So our DNA, our cells, is the basis of every single one of us. And I always love to start off showing my friend Jimmy, because this is a good view of what we're talking about here. So this is Jimmy when he was 80 on the left in his little brown jacket. And this is him at 90 in the green shirt. So both birthdays, 10 years apart. Which one does he look older in? So, you know, no question he looks older in the 80-year-old picture. But why does he look younger in the 90-year-old picture? That's because he came across isogenesis, and we're not only helping him to look younger on the outside, but physiologically he's younger. I was just on a Zoom call with him last week, and at 90, he's going to be, what is he, 92 now? Is he 92 now, you guys? 92, I think so, yeah. At 92 is clear, is, you know, running around doing it. And when I talk about doing numbers, like he's doing numbers, explaining business, you know, I mean, right on his toes at 92 years old, though not where the majority of people were going at 92. So why? What happened for him? And so we're going to explain telomeres. Am I frozen? No? Good? Okay. So telomeres. Everybody knows we have cells, and at the nucleus of that cell, inside of our nucleus, are chromosomes, and all housed up in there, right, is in those chromosomes are these little protective caps. So let's pretend this is a double helix chromosome. I know it looks like a rope with tape on it, because that's what it is, but let's pretend it's a double helix chromosome, which would look like this down here. Each one of the legs of our little chromosome has a protective tip or cap over it, sort of like your shoestring. So if your shoestring had a, you know, that little plastic tip or cap over it, why is it there? Why is that plastic tip there on your shoestring? It's to keep it from falling apart, right? Well, our telomere is there for the same reason. It's to keep our DNA together, because housed inside of our chromosomes, all coiled up, is our DNA. So you see these little steps, like you see where the little letters come together, the G, C, the T, A, where all those come together, that's called nucleic bonding. In our nucleic bonds, as our telomeres shorten, our nucleic bonds start to separate. Well, why would our telomeres shorten? Well, you know, we have 160 trillion cells. Do you know that we have that many? 160 trillion cells. Every minute, think about this, every minute, 1 billion of those cells divide. 1 billion, that's a ton. And every single time you have a cell division, we lose a little teeny tiny bit of that telomere, that information that's housed in that telomere. So our telomeres get shorter and shorter and shorter. So we're born with 10,000 little pieces of our telomere. And when our bodies die, we have 5,000 bases. So throughout our life, we lose 5,000 bases. Now what happens is our telomeres start to get shorter, our DNA begins to fray, and then as the cells are replicating, they're no longer replicating a perfect cell anymore. They're replicating something that's degenerated. Now, all aging and degeneration is linked back to that little teeny tiny telomere getting shorter and our DNA fraying. So you think, oh my gosh, how can something so small have such a huge effect on my body? Well, our whole body is made up of cells. So if that's happening in every area of our body, you can understand what's happening. So let's say our cells, our telomeres are so short in, let's say, our eyes. So our telomeres are so short in our eyes that the DNA is so frayed, it can no longer separate anymore. It can no longer divide because the cell is so dead that it can't copy itself anymore. What would happen? You know that it's called cell senescence or senescence, depending on which scientist you talk to. They both say, you know, tomato, tomato. But so cell senescence, if you reach cell senescence in your eyes, that would mean you're blind. It doesn't mean you're losing your vision. That would mean that the cells in your eye can no longer replicate, and so they die. And that's aging and degeneration right there. So what's been really interesting is working with this Nobel Prize winning physiology and medicine. So if you think about this, okay, this is science backed. We don't just guess at this. We don't hope that we get it right. This is total science backed information that we're sharing with you today. So Nobel Prize winning 2009 in physiology and medicine about this enzyme that is inside of our body called telomerase. Now, initially, the Nobel Prize winning team found this enzyme in like pond scum. Well, we are not pond scum, but we still have this enzyme in our body. And this amazing man right here, Dr. Bill Andrews, actually found that enzyme inside of the human body. It's there, it's just suppressed. So we're born with it. Every single human has it. There's nobody that doesn't have it. There's nobody that doesn't have telomeres. There's nobody exempt from this. They may be affected in some way, like children with progeria. If you've ever seen children with progeria who age early, they still have telomeres. They still have the telomerase enzyme. So Dr. Bill Andrews discovered this human telomerase enzyme in 1994, and he got to work to find things that would potentially turn that telomerase enzyme on in the human body. It's there, it's just suppressed. Now, knowing that, every bit of aging and degeneration, so I don't care, you name it, from your toenail growing crooked to the cracking skin on the bottom of your feet, to hair falling out, to losing hearing, to our brains not functioning well anymore. I don't care. If you can put any disease process, any aging process, it doesn't matter what it is, it all comes back to this telomere. And when you think about that, it really makes perfect sense, understanding that everyone's telomeres shorten in different areas of their body in different ways, which is why you could put 50-year-olds in a room and everyone looks different. Are we all aging the same? Absolutely not. But that's the reason is that because our telomeres are shortening differently in different areas of our body. So Bill gets to work to find a way to turn this telomerase enzyme on inside of our body. He has the only lab in the whole world that's doing it. It's in Reno, Nevada. It's called Telomere Science. And he also has the only machinery in the whole world that can actually test whether or not something is actually turning on the telomerase enzyme in human cells. So he gets to work starting to put all of these different compounds, chemicals, pharmaceuticals, natural compounds. He even made some stuff up and started injecting them in the human skin cell. So we have a petri dish, human skin cell. They inject the compound into the human skin cell, and then they wait for the cell to divide. After the cell divides, they can tell whether or not the telomere is longer, shorter, stayed the same. They can see that. So understanding that they are able to do that, Harvard piggybacked off of his research and started doing this in mice. Now, living, breathing mammals, right? What are we? Are we living, breathing mammals? We are. What we always go, why do they do mice studies? Like, what does that have to do with a human? But they're actually really close in molecular structure to what, a human body. So what they did is they took these mice and they prematurely aged them. So here's an actual picture of the mice. They prematurely aged them. You can see that this mouse is like graying and looks older, and this is a younger mouse. Same mice, they actually prematurely aged them and shortened their telomeres, and then they turned their telomerase on. So they turned their enzymes back on. And Dr. Del Pino, you can look it up. It's the mouse study with Harvard. And you can go back and watch the Diane Sawyer video. I'm not going to play it for you guys this morning, but it's all there. Like, you can go watch it. So they prematurely aged them, turned their telomeres back on, and then Dr. Ronald Del Pino, who was the head of the study at Harvard, said it was a remarkable reversal of the aging process. They saw their hair go back to normal color, their bones, their ligaments, their cognitive ability, all of these things improved. Their brains got bigger. They could see the difference in their brain size from from before and after. Anybody need a bigger brain? I mean, we think about all of the things that are happening with big, you know, with our brains right now, and all of the things that we see decline cognitively as we age. Is this an important conversation? Well, in my family, absolutely it is, because, you know, there are some cognitive ability function that happens inside of my family that has been unfortunately hereditary. So is it important to me? Absolutely. I want to make sure that I'm taking the best care of my brain that I can. And, you know, it doesn't always function the best, but I want to take care of what I got. So let's see, I want to show you guys this picture. Okay, so what was actually happening is we talked about the DNA unraveling. Well, when they were able to activate the telomerase enzyme, what it did was it actually reconnected the nucleic bonds. So it fixed that telomere, so the DNA was actually healing itself. Would that be a big deal if you had something going on in your body that wasn't functioning correctly? Well, yes. So Bill's working in his lab. He's working with all of these things. They see the mice study. Now they know this is happening. So we have not only the mice study, but we also have Bill actually in his lab doing skin cell study, and he's coming up with things. He came up with 8 different things that actually did that, but none of them were safe. So they could see that it worked, but the human body would not survive if you took them, right? Or if you ingested them. So not a good scenario. So Bill meets this amazing man, John Anderson, who's the formulator of Isogenics. And John is a master formulator. They call him the mineral man. He's traveled the world collecting natural compounds. He goes to places where people live into their hundreds, like 125 years old. There's places, do you guys know people live to 125? Like healthy live to 125. So he goes to these places and looks at what they're eating, what they're ingesting, what their plants and their minerals and their foods are, and he brings them home and he studies them. So he's formulated for over 600 different companies, over 3,000 different products for other companies. And then he met Bill and said, I know the reason that I was born. Understanding Bill's science, he said, I would love to send you some compounds. And Bill kind of thought he was crazy at first. He's like, look, you're this herbalist, botanist guy. You know, I'm a scientist. What are you? But afterwards, it was interesting because as I talked to Bill, I said to Bill what a genius he was. And he said, you think I'm the genius? I'm not the genius. John Anderson is the genius. So I was like, that's a pretty glowing recommendation. So John started sending over these little bottles. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see in the background, there's these little vials. So he started sending these over to Bill. Bill didn't know what they were. He just started testing them. So now understand that prior to John showing up in Bill's world, 10 plus years he had spent, 30 to 40 different researchers working together in Bill's lab, tested 304,000 different compounds, and they had only come up with 8 that would actually work with the telomerase enzyme. Think about how painstaking that would be for 10 years to only find 8. How many people would go that long? At some point you would have to go, I got to give up. But he knew it would work. He knew that this was going to happen. And so this is an actual assay chart from Bill's lab. So what you're looking at is all of the yellow lines are things that they've tested. So whether it's a pharmaceutical, botanical, whatever, it doesn't matter. These were all different things that they tested. So this is just a snippet of his assay chart from his lab. These 8 lines were the hits that they got that were too toxic for human consumption. But you can see where, like, how the strength of them. So John starts sending over compounds, and in his first 15, now think about that, his first 15, he got a hit. They had tried 304,000 different, so Bill's like, he just got lucky. He got lucky, or he found out what one of our things was, and he just resent us something we were already using. But that wasn't the case. In the second 15, they found another, and over the next 120 formulations, they found these 7. Now they've tested thousands and thousands and thousands. And they found right now in our generation 4, we have over 20 different, what they call a hit. So this red line is what they consider a hit. And still continuing to work, still continuing to look for more things, but putting this knowledge of John's together with Bill has created this amazing product called isogenesis. And so the hit ingredients that they were finding in Bill's lab from John's formulations, this is what's all inside this bottle. So we can see that there's even hit ingredients. He didn't think we would ever get any that would be higher than his test compounds in the lab, but we've far exceeded that now. And so if you realize, you know, to have that kind of support for our telomeres, to have that kind of support for our body at the DNA level, how important that is, right? But for me, for sure. So just so you guys know, I want to show you some you know, just some field testimonials really quick, and know that, you know, we are not here to diagnose, treat, cure anything. We absolutely believe that the body has the innate ability to heal itself. And do you agree with that? Is there anybody that doesn't agree with that? Like, we know we cut ourselves, you know, we don't have to do anything, and that heals. We don't have to even think about that. Hey, but what happens when that doesn't heal? You think we're missing a nutrient or lacking something in our body? Yeah, that we can totally put back in, and our bodies can function correctly again. Well, let's talk about my friend Dick Souter, who just turned 90 last week before last. I had him on my Thursday night presentation on his birthday, and was if you got to see that, if you didn't, it's all recorded there. You gotta go back and see it, because at 90 years old, where he was at 82 in this picture is not where he is now. And so was not doing so great. But his daughter Amy came to a presentation that we did, and as she left, she realized that she needed to get him going on some nutrition and on this telomere support. And over the next time, look at, this was him just last week. Isn't that awesome? So 82, 85, 87, 89, and then this is 90. He was out picking blueberries with his granddaughter, or it might be great granddaughter. No, granddaughter. Isn't that amazing? Now, from where this guy is right now at 90 to where, you know, he was at 82, you can't even compare the scenario. But how his body has changed, how he's healed, how he's aged in such an amazing way. This was not the trajectory he was on at 82. And so just adding in the right nutrients and helping support his body, his body's telomeres, things have shifted for him. You can't go to any of it. Like, we go to events with him. I can't even walk down the hall with him, because he's like famous. People stop him everywhere we go, because they all want to talk to him, because they know his story and how amazing it is. And, you know, Bob wasn't as old as Dick was when he got started. Bob was only 72. And so this is Bob Sheridan. He lives here in Las Vegas with me, and he is the only announcer to be in the Boxing Hall of Fame. He's a boxing announcer, but not doing so great at 72. They'd sent him home from the hospital because he they couldn't operate because he was too sick. And so they sent him home to get his affairs in order. His wife, Annie, got him started on the product in a really short period of time. So from first picture to second picture, it's just over 6 months. That's an actual picture from the interview they did with him in Fight News magazine. Because they were like, Bob, we thought we were going to lose you. What happened? And he tells the whole story about how he got started on, we called it Product B back then, but isogenesis, it's the same thing. So if you ever want to look at it, go to fightnews.com and type in the Colonel or type in Bob Sheridan, and you can see his story. And so over the next 3 years, we just watched him transform. So we just saw, it was like a month ago was his birthday, and he just turned 80, and looking amazing. That is not where this guy was at 72 years old, who was sent home from the hospital to get his affairs in order. I got to get his other picture up there, because he's got like his baseball jersey on. He's a Dodgers fan. Don't hate him. That's okay. This is Jill, and you can just see what happens. Even at Jill, 2011, she was putting great nutrition in her body, but with the advent of our little magic beans, that's what we like to call them, at 62, she is transforming in a different way. And what I really want to talk about a lot this morning is trauma and what happens when your body goes through a trauma. You cut yourself, you break a bone, you go through even dermabrasion. So you do something that's like dermabrasion, they take off all of your top layer of skin. Well, your body has to heal that. So what happens when you go through a trauma is your cells have to divide very quickly in order to heal that trauma. So your body goes through rapid cell division to heal a broken bone, to heal something that's been damaged. And Dave had a P-long fracture. So he had a bad motocross accident. Doctor said, look, Dave, this P-long fracture, it looks like a broken pane of glass. So his shin was just completely shattered. And the doctor said, you're probably never going to walk again without a limp. You're never going to run again. It's going to take you a year to heal at least. And just get past the fact that you're never going to run again. But, Dave, the doctor didn't know what we knew, which is when you support your body and you give it the right nutrients and you support the body's telomeres, what can happen. And so we watched him over the next 3 months of not being on his feet, going through 2 surgeries and going from bed to wheelchair to rolly to little walker to running stadiums in 3 months. The doctor, he didn't want to hear it. Unfortunately, that's too bad because it was such an important thing that happened for him that even after being off his feet for 3 months, he still has muscle, you guys. We go into muscle atrophy really quickly, especially after a trauma. So 3 months of him then being able to go down the street and run the stadiums was amazing. So just to be able to run it all, but then to run up and down steps, that's incredible. And so it was just being able to support his body. So we think about, trauma could be anything. Trauma could be disease, could be stress, could be, is anybody under stress right now? When we are stressed, when we are not eating healthy, not only does our body go through natural aging, but we can accelerate that aging process. So do we want to, age 5 years in 1 year, or do we want to age 1 year a year? Or how about 6 months a year? What if you aged less than you actually were? And so that's what we're talking about. These are the things that we're seeing. And even Chantel, so 33-year-old mother of 4 who had such serious back discomfort that she wasn't sleeping well, she couldn't play with her kids. There's not a lot that she was doing, but in a short time, back to normal, life's normal, sleeping well, playing with her kids and doing flooring with her husband. Not like that's a big bonus because I don't want to go do flooring. But if you think about just being able to do that is pretty incredible. And so, when we talk about long telomeres or short telomeres, this was really just like a quick overview, and hopefully that gives you an understanding of why we would want long telomeres, why we want to support our body at the causal level, at the DNA level where things are going wrong. So it's so important. And right now, to be able to build our immune systems up, to be able to support ourselves the best that we can is, another part of the conversation that's so important. But, we know that not only do we need to support our body at the telomere level, but we also need to feed our body nutrients. So there's multiple things. Like, could I just take my telomere support and then live on McDonald's and heal? Maybe, but how much of quality of life am I going to have if I'm not giving my rocket ship the right fuel? And so talking every day about what the right fuel is and how important it is. So we have this, we always say, can replacing one meal change your life? And I say absolutely yes. I went into this 14 years ago and said, if you think I'm having a shake every day, you're crazy. There's no way that I'm doing that. But understanding what it did to my body and how I felt after just doing one of these meal replacements every single day was important, because, you know, the same guy, John Anderson, who put his brain into this bottle also has his brain into this canister of shake. So that same genius that created this also created this. So was it shocking that I had such a profound transformation just putting the nutrients in? And, you know, we are just lacking, our society's lacking for what we do with our bodies every day as far as nutrients are concerned. Our farmlands are depleted, our food supply is overly processed and poor. And, you know, we work really hard to put ourselves in acidosis. Because almost every single thing that we eat on a regular basis keeps our body at the low end of the pH scale, which is where disease and cancers and all kinds of bad things live. So if you think of, you know, your body like a swimming pool, that acidic side of the pH chart is where it's green and there's mosquitoes flying around. So it's not a good situation. So we want to be able to have our body in balanced blue sparkly water, which is 7.25 on the pH scale. But almost every single thing that we eat drops us below that. You know, like a soda is 3 or is like a 2.5. Starbucks coffee is a 3. If your body gets to a 4 blood level, like if your blood level gets to a 4 acidic level, you're going to die. Isn't that crazy? And so Starbucks is like a 3, soda's a 2.5. If you do a diet soda, it's even worse. But meats and all kinds of things, chicken, or even reverse osmosis water, none of those things are feeding the body correctly. So we have to put in something that's going to feed us well. And so unfortunately, this is the top meal that we have in our country, is this some sort of a sandwich of fries and a soda. And it doesn't necessarily have to be this one, could be a chicken sandwich, could be whatever, but there's really no nutrient value going on there, because not only is, you know, the lettuce and the tomatoes not even giving us nutrients, but it's also everything else, the white bread, the deep fried potatoes, all of that is dropping our body to an acidic level, plus, you know, overconsumption of processed sugar is such an enemy of how our bodies work. So when I say how much nutrition is there, it's really negative. Where when we put this shake in, we're looking at over 252 nutrients, probiotics, digestive enzymes, the perfect amount of protein, to the perfect amount of carbohydrates, to sugar, to fats, to amino acids. All of these things are put together perfectly to give us a complete meal. And it's yummy too. So yummy's always a factor. But if you look at the difference between this meal that's got 1,830 calories versus 240 calories, this meal on the left is a calorie dense meal. Have you ever eaten something like that and then like an hour and a half later you're hungry? It's because it was calories that was fueling us. It wasn't nutrients. That's why when you look at our isogenic shake, it's nutrient dense, which is why we can have one of those 240 calorie shakes and it keeps us full and satiated for so long, because there's so many nutrients in it, right? You see the difference, calorie dense versus nutrient dense? And, you know, when we look at the price, $8.47 in 2007, but just recently we looked it up, and that meal, if you supersized it, was $10.46 for one person for one meal. But with our shake here, it's like $3 a meal. Let's just say, you know, you add a little tax and whatever on it, it's $3 a meal versus $10.46. So do I want to pay $10.50 for something that's harming my body, or $3 for something that's really helping me? When I add my isogenesis in every day and support my telomeres, we're still at $5.50 a day, just to have those two things. So people will go, it's too expensive to eat healthy. And I beg to differ, you guys. I absolutely beg to differ. There's no way that's, you can see that. I just saw somebody post, I got to pull the post because it said, this is the money I put away every single day because I did a shake instead of having what I normally have. And after, was it 3 months? I think it was a 3-month span. They had like $1,200 they had saved. Isn't that, it's insane, like how much it was. I thought I actually put in here the new whole blend shake so you guys could see it, but apparently, wherever I put it, it's not here. Okay, interesting. I wanted to show you guys the new shake that they just came out with. Well, that's really interesting. Okay, so there you go. I thought I had put it in there, but the slide I made obviously has disappeared, or I put it in the wrong spot and now I don't see it. So sorry about that, you know, but what I could do is, here, why don't I do this? Give me 1 second. Let's do this. Let's try this. Oh, can you guys hear that? Awesome.
Look at that big old pile of goodness. Each one of these fruits and veggies is chock full of the vitamins your body needs. We're talking full vitamin diversity. But at Isagenix, we look at that pile of organic goodness and ask, how do we make it into a pile of betterness? Which isn't a word, but stay with me. Our answer, whole blend. It's new, and it's a better way to get all of the nutrients and vitamins your body needs to eat, feel, and live better. How is whole blend better than just diving in face first and eating all these foods? Well, for one, that's not how normal people eat food. And for two, vitamers. Now that's a new word. You might not have ever heard that word before. So I'll say it again and slower. Vitamers. That's right, Isagenix is making vitamins better. Stick with me because to understand this, we got to get a little sciencey. Where to start? Spinach. That's a good one because inside spinach you can find vitamin B6. There it is. And if you look inside B6, what's that? Yep, those are vitamers. 6 different kinds of vitamers to be exact. Now you might ask, why can't I just have my B6 out of the bottle? You can, and that's good. But that B6 is made out of only 1 vitamin, and the last time we checked, 6 vitamins is better than 1. Which is why with whole blend, you get all 6 vitamins in your vitamin B6 extracted from organic spinach. And that's just B6. There are lots of vitamins that come from lots of organic veggies in this whole blend. The whole blend shake has high quality, undenatured whey protein from grass-fed cows. Don't eat dairy? No problemo, amigo. Turns out plants have more to offer than just vitamins, and our plant protein comes from fava beans, mung beans, and peas. Then, whole blend combines all that high-quality protein with vitamin goodness, adds in just a pinch of sweet to craft a simple shake that provides maximum nutrition. Imagine all the work and money and science and trips to the store it would take for you to get all this nutrition your body needs. It's enough to make your head and your grocery budget explode. But there's no need for those explosions because Isagenix has done all that for you and made it into a simple, affordable meal. Whole blend. And all of that is what makes whole blend better. Whole blend is another secret to the art of well-being that can only be found with Isagenix.
Isn't that cool? Okay. I love that video. It's such a great little quick explanation. But the whole blend piece of this is so, it's so amazing. Like every time I think that they can't top themselves, they do it again. And it's the new technology and vitamins. I don't know if you guys, has anybody tried the new blend? So good. So what should, if you've tried it and you love it, then either, oh, hey Carter.
Yep, it's you know A lot of people have dissected the macros. I'm pretty grateful that they lowered that sugar. And what is there? 1 gram of molasses sugar. And you can taste it. I liked what Jackie Palmer said during the celebration when she tried it. It's kind of a clean taste off the tongue. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. And that bar, guys, that peanut butter crisp bar, if you saw my post yesterday, that's unbelievable.
It is. Thank you for saying that. I don't know how, like our current shake was really smooth and creamy. How they made it smoother, I can't figure that out. Like it's just so, and my husband's in love with the Undenatured Way chocolate one. He thinks it tastes like chocolate gelato. So every day he has a shake, he's like, that is so good. He's like, he loved our shakes before, but like he's on board with these new ones, right?
Jojo.
Hey, Michelle.
The new strawberry with the organic greens added to it. Oh my God, it's so good. I love this strawberry because it's not as sweet. And the other strawberry, there was something that wasn't quite right with it. And this is just
perfect. And I'm not a strawberry fan. I'm a chocolate girl. So I tasted them, but it wasn't something I did all the time. So I really need to try the new whole blend one too. So
I haven't opened up the chocolate one. I do love the vanilla though too. So anyways.
So good. And I've actually been doing the dairy-free one. So
I haven't tried that one yet.
Yeah, I really happy with the dairy-free. So if anybody does dairy-free, typically you see when you have a vegan protein, it can be grainy, it's weird. Like they're just a weird consistency because they don't come from creamy milk, right? They come from plants and grains, and so it's always going to be a different consistency. But this one it's so smooth. Our other one was smooth too. They're so good.
So question on the dairy-free one, is it chalky like the other ones were?
No, and I didn't think the other ones were chalky, but it's not at all. Like if you didn't know, you might not know. It is different. I don't want to say it's not different because it is. It's always going to be a little bit different in texture and consistency between plant-based and Undenatured Way. But so good.
Joel.
I'm so happy with what they've done. And you know what I love? Here's what I love the most is that they're in recyclable bags. Our company has a green initiative to go green completely. Now, if you think about having over 80 products, having zero waste, they want to have zero waste over the next 8 years. There's not even technology to do that yet, you guys. So the technology has to be created in order for them to do that. But this bag that they came out with, it actually, not all bags, we think a bag is plastic, so it should be recyclable, but that's not the case. And not only is it green because of the bag, because it's recyclable, but it also, instead of the canisters, which are so big, they said that what it would take to transport our normal order, like our normal, canister order would take 229 trucks to get it there. It takes 9. So if you think about the carbon footprint that reduced, 220 trucks it reduced off.
Crazy.
So that's a huge deal, right?
They were just saying we've switched to these bags in the new shakes.
And so pretty cool. I actually have a lot of that from Celebration. You guys, we just had our big convention too. If you ever want to look at some of that stuff, and I think was it Friday night or Saturday, he talked about the green initiative. I can't remember now. If somebody remembers, let me know.
It was Friday.
It was Friday. Okay. So on Friday, you can go back to celebrationlive2020.com and actually hop in there and watch the Friday night. And it's a breakdown of all of the new stuff, but they talked a lot about the green initiative and how things have switched over. And so, also just as a thought, if anybody's concerned about really boosting their immune system, we have some amazing products. And did you guys know that, we took over Zija? So what used to be Zija or Zango is now Isagenix. So Isagenix now has umbrellaed Zija, and they are part of our company. And we are adopting some of the products that they had in their company. And Zango is one of them. And I know that a ton of people have like, where is Zango gone? But it's here. So Zango is now Isagenix. So if you're a Zango fan. But there are so many things that we can add in. Our immune booster, our C Light is amazing. Our C Light has been studied for vitamin C, and our ionics, all these things that help boost our zinc and our vitamin C and help keep our immune system up. What I really love about this is that because it's easy to share, that we have this amazing Eat for Free program. And when I just do my shake every day, I mean, this is such, you guys, oh my gosh, if I could just like get this one point across to you, as far as in shifting a thought from having nutrients to getting your products paid for free, or bringing in some extra money into your household. We all need a plan B right now. We all need a plan B. This world is changing like we have never ever experienced before in any of our lifetimes. We've never seen anything like this, where this is all happening at one time. And to be able to not only just eat my stuff, so right, I don't have to go to the store and buy 40, or I don't have to order 40,000 canisters and go knock on someone's door and try to sell that to them. I just eat my shake every single day and take my Isagenesis. I do that every single day. And because I shared that with friends, our whole entire world changed. Okay, so just in the beginning, let's say you want to get started. It's $164 to get this little thing that we call the Forever Pak, which is one shake a day and your Isagenesis. If you add in the whole blend, it'll be a couple of dollars more, just so you guys know that right up front. But it's not hugely different. It's a couple of dollars. When you share that with two people, so I have two friends on here right now. When I share that with my two friends, that's going to help me earn part of my money back. So I spent $164 on that. When I share it with two friends, the company's going to give me back $120. I'm eating for an entire month for 40 bucks. When my two friends share it with two friends, the same thing is going to happen for them. And then the company is going to reward me one more time, and they're actually going to give me an extra 450 bucks. So for the first 3 to 4 months of me being here, I spent almost no money on my product because of this. Think about that. Like, can you go to the grocery store and they go, hey, bring two friends, we'll take care of your food? No. And right now, wouldn't you prefer to have your nutrients delivered to your doorstep than have to go out there? I mean, things are kind of crazy in Vegas right now. So I don't necessarily want to be running around in the grocery store if I don't have to be. So it's being delivered to my house. So over the first few months of just me sharing with two, and my friends sharing with two, and my friends sharing with two, this is the best referral program ever. We all understand that, right? I tell you about DirecTV. I get 50 bucks, you get 50 bucks. Same thing happens here. The cool part about it is that forever and ever and ever, every single time one of my friends orders, or one of their friends orders, or one of their friends orders, for 6%, they pay me forever. Forever, every single time one of them order. So not only did they give me a little bonus up front to help me take care of my food, but every single Monday, I get a paycheck because my friends are having a shake every day. And they're getting a paycheck because their friends are having a shake every day. And their friends are getting paid because their friends are having a shake every day. So sometimes people will go, what? That makes no sense. I'm like, have a shake, change your life, right? Can changing your breakfast change your life? Yes, absolutely it can. There's no question. So if you guys want to go back and see this, go to foreverpak.com. It's a short little 22-minute video. There's no testimonials. There's no referral program. It's just the science. You can go back and see that. We need to reshoot it probably now with the whole blends going in, but it's still got the old, I don't want to call it old, the original shake in there. Remember that it's PAK, so foreverpak.com. And all I can say is, hey, no test, no testimony. There's a full money back guarantee. Put it in your body, see what it does for you. I can give you a pile of testimonies if I could just like download my brain into your brain so you could see everything that happened over the last 14 years of me being here, your head would explode of all of the testimonials that we've seen and all of the amazing things that have happened. But nothing to lose, nothing to lose, everything to gain. Absolutely everything. So I'm just gonna pop out of here, and if anybody's got any questions, we'll do some real quick, and let's see if I can bring my chat up. Is there anything that I didn't go over that there was questions in the chat? If anybody wants to let me know. Okay. I guess I did a good job, even though I'm kind of all over the place this morning.
You did a great job.
Oh, well, thank you. It's good to see your face too.
Yeah, Jojo, you did an amazing job. It was awesome.
So what, you know, on Saturday morning, what we normally do is we kind of switch from talking about the product to talking about our opportunity and our compensation plan and how the business side of this works. So, you know, when I first got involved here, I didn't want to know any of that. You know, I didn't even want to know the product. If you heard me in the beginning say, I said no to this. I said no to the product. Then I said no to the opportunity. And because I was able to go back and say yes, it really has changed every aspect of our life. I was able to sell my businesses. My husband is no longer a union electrician. He's home and does this full time with me. We could have never done that had this not come into our life. And so I would, you know, invite you to stay on and listen to how that all works and how that could break down for you. This is an amazing opportunity. And when I tell you that everyone needs a plan B right now, not only are we losing jobs to automation, but I drove around my city yesterday, you guys, and like there's boards everywhere. There's boarded up businesses everywhere. And it's sad. It's sad. But here we have nothing but opportunity. And because we're virtual and because we can do things through Zoom and because our opportunity and our company works through the internet, right? Everything is internet sales. Not only have we not been affected by what's been happening, but we just opened 12 new countries and added new products. So when you think about that, we are now in 26 different countries where we can do business. So who do you know? Where do you know people? Where do you want to travel? It's all available to you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut this recording off and I'm going to switch and we'll move this from the Forever Pak page and we'll go over into the opportunity page. I'm going to shut off the recording and